Namaste and Merry Christmas. Welcome to your restorative flow for Christmas Eve, or anytime during the holidays that you need a little refreshing time away to yourself. Taking care of our bodies and our minds and our spirits can help us handle and enjoy the season a little bit more. For today's class, you'll need some space against the wall or a chair and a variety of props. If you've got some, maybe a couple of stacked blankets, yoga blocks, pillows, we're going to get nice and cozy in these postures, and we'll be holding them about 5 minutes each. So the point is to allow your household items to support you as we relax down into the earth and enjoy a relaxing, restorative, refreshing some time to yourself. So take a minute if you need to get your supplies and get yourself set up. We'll be beginning our first posture in legs up the wall, which you can also do against a chair. So if you're using a chair, just bring your hips as close as you can and placing the calves on the chair. You want to try to get your knees directly over your hips, relaxing your back down to the mat. So you can either take this variation, or if you have wall space, go ahead and take legs up the wall. Same thing with the chair. So we're going to scoot our hips against the wall, extend them up, scoot all the way so your tailbone is against the baseboards. Remove your Santa hat and relax with the arms at your side. The feet can begin to gently descend down. The heels maybe coming down a little bit. That's okay. Maybe a slight bend in your knees. Just allow your body to enjoy this little reverse of gravity. We're used to being upright with our head above our feet for most of the day. Beginning here allows us to transform our perspective. It allows the blood flow to reverse. It's also good for embodying that sense of winter, the end of the year, where we're just letting everything kind of come down off the high of the peak of the year, coming back down to earth, letting things settle within us, releasing, grounding, settling in for the winter season, a time of reflection and quiet peace within, or that's what we strive for anyway. So as you settle into your posture, either legs up the wall or in the chair, feel the hips melting into the earth. Relax the shoulders, soften the face. Allow the eyes to close. And just let yourself feel heavy. Through this restorative practice, you find your mind wandering. Bring your attention to the inhales and the exhales. Begin to deepen the breath, sending the breath in to the belly and the lungs, then the chest. And exhaling first through the chest, and then when the lungs expel the air, gently pressing the belly in to get out all the last bits of stale air before fully inhaling again. Embrace the stillness, embrace the quiet, and be here for another couple moments. Continue taking slow, deep inhales, long, extended exhales out through the nose. You can allow the feet and the legs to relax a little more. Maybe they slide down the wall a little bit. Give yourself permission to let go. And take about 5 more rounds of unhurried breath. Your last round of breath, take the deepest inhale you can, filling all the way up until the heart lifts off the floor, and then exhale through open mouth. Cleansing breath out. Slowly release the heels towards the bottom of the wall, bringing the soles of the feet together. If your legs are against the chairs, gently draw the knees in towards your chest. Bring the knees together and gently begin to scoot yourself away from the wall or away from the chair, pressing yourself up to sit in the center of your mat, taking your time. Bring the knees together, the heels together behind you for hero pose. And in this posture, we'll be doing a few more movement-based restorative little stretches, but you do want your hips and your knees and your heels to be in line. So you don't want the hips to be splaying open and you don't want them to be curving in. So if it helps, and which is I need to do, is sit up on a block or any kind of sturdy prop, and that can kind of help align things a little bit better. If hero pose here, or thunderbolts, it's also called. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can also do this seated in the chair or in a comfortable seat in the center of the mat. If you're taking hero pose, see if you can tuck your toes under, spreading the toes wide as you find your aligned seat. So it might take a little wiggling to get into place. Maybe you spread your toes a little bit. Again, bringing the knees and the hips together. Sense a little bit of firing up on the toes. So just spend a breath or two here. Coming back to your center. And then releasing the toes down, tops of the feet pressing into the mat, and trying to align everything so the hips are neutral. You need to sit up straight, relax the shoulders, and coming back to that breath. Filling up the belly. Exhale the nose. On your next inhale, reach the arms overhead. And bending the right elbow, bring your right hand to the back of your neck, maybe the top of your back if you can, and you're going to grab your elbow with your left hand. Inhale, reaching up through that side body, reaching up through the right elbow, finding a little stretch. Gently pull that elbow back a little bit. Try to keep the spine somewhat straight here. So we're not sticking the heart and the chest out forward. We're not curving forward. Just finding a straight back, a little bit of lift. We'll spend about 5 rounds of breath here. Try to relax your shoulders. Inhale back to center. Release that left hand down next to you. Reach the right arm up. Now taking that full side body stretch. Right arm arches over your head. Press up through the armpit. Press down through that right hip. Feel the right side body expanding. Pull that right shoulder back. Open heart. 5 breaths here. Slow and steady. Inhale slowly back to center after your last breath. Bring the palms back together. Look up, reach up. Exhale, release your hands back behind you, clasping your fingertips together. Draw the fist down the spine, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, begin to fold forward as the arms reach back. So press the fists away from you, opening through the chest and the shoulder, maybe folding the forehead down, tucking the chin, reaching the arms up overhead. Keep your hips grounded, either on your heels or your prop. 2 more rounds of breath here. Let the head be heavy. And pressing down into the shins, lift yourself back up. Unclasp the fingertips, release the hands, and bring them right back up overhead. This time, bending the left elbow, grasp your left elbow with your right hand, finding that side body stretch again. So lengthening through the spine, pressing the left elbow back, slight tilt towards the right. Focus on keeping the heart open. Breathing slow and steady. Relax your shoulders. Take about 2 more rounds of breath on this side. Inhale back to center. Release the right hand to the mat. Reach the left arm up, stretch up, and then begin to tilt towards the right, pressing out through that left hip, that left shoulder. Maybe the left arm comes up overhead. Pull that left shoulder back so your heart gently spins towards the ceiling. And find a neutral place for your neck. So maybe you're looking down or looking straight ahead. Press the left hip down, reach up through that left armpit. 5 rounds of breath here. Soften through the jaw. After your 5th exhale, inhale back to center. Bring both arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Once again, clasping the fingertips behind your low back. Lengthen through the arms, maybe keeping a slight bend in the elbows. Reach the heart up, look up. Exhale, seated yoga mudra. Gently fold forward as the arms come up overhead, dropping your head and your neck. Slight tuck of the chin, hips still pressing down. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and breathe. Take one final round of breath here. As you exhale, press the shins into the mat. Inhale to lift yourself back up. Release the arms, swing them up in front of you, and exhale them down to your side. Inhale the arms back up. Exhale, twist towards your right, bringing your right hand back behind you. You can either prop your fingertips up on another prop, or if your hand reaches the floor, that's great too. Reach the left arm up and then exhale, twist. Bringing your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, lengthening through the spine, turning your gaze over your back right shoulder. Gentle twist here. Softening the gaze. Take about 2 more rounds of breath here. And then we'll release through center on the inhale. Bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale them down to your side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, turn towards the left, keeping the hips facing forward. Drop that left hand behind you. Maybe you need your prop if you can't quite reach the floor. Right arm comes up. Exhale, lower that right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, turn your gaze over your shoulder. Looking back behind you, but keeping the hips squared towards the center. Breathe easy. Take about 3 more rounds of breath here. After your final exhale, release on the inhale, coming through center, arms up. Exhale, plant the hands down in front of you, coming up off your hips. Move any props out of the way. And slowly make your way to your back. We'll be taking reclined bound angle pose. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And if you have 2 equally sized props, I'm going to bring those underneath the knees on both sides. So supporting the knees, ensure that they are grounded on something. You have another option too of supporting your back, so making this a little bit more of a heart opener by bringing if you've got a long pillow or a rolled up blanket, bringing that behind your back, kind of in the upper back between the shoulder blades. It doesn't have to be dramatic, just a little lift will help. If you'd like a pillow underneath your head, go for it. Anything else you need to feel supported, grounded, safe, warm. Throughout the restorative practice, it's important to take that time setting up the posture so that when you arrive into your shape, you can totally release and feel relaxed. So the subtle body can also release and relax. Placing a blanket over top of you or across the hips can also be really comforting. If you have an eye pillow, that can be nice. So really take your time and get cozy here. Once you found your spot, Release yourself from the wiggles and the movements. That's always the hardest part for me. Take a full inhale and a cleansing breath out. And then allow yourself to just be here in the relative stillness of our reclined bound ankle. There's no thinking or planning or anticipating that you need to do here. But as the human mind does, may continue to wander. Perhaps uncomfortable things come to mind or sensations throughout the body. Just breathe through those and then come back to the breath. As you relax a little bit more into the shape, notice if you're holding tension anywhere, holding yourself up. Can you relax those muscles, those judgments, those spots of tension? Allow the pillows and blankets and props and earth to support you. Deep inhales, slow exhales. Take about 5 more rounds of breath here. Slowing down each exhale a few seconds longer than the previous one, if you can. Begin to awaken the fingers, toes, reopening the eyes if you close them. Gently come out of the posture, begin to lengthen the legs out on the mat, maybe rolling the wrists and ankles as you do. And bending the knees so the feet come flat on the mat, dropping the knees to one side to roll onto your side. Eventually, no rush, pressing yourself up to sit. Take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Spend just a moment seated, however you are, allowing the sensations of that posture to flow through the body. And then, as you're ready, making our way to our next shape, be taking a supine twist. So we'll be on our backs again, gently twisted from one side and then the other, about 5 minutes on each side. To make this a little bit more supportive, if you have the available props, you can bring one long blanket or body pillow. It's going to be underneath your hips. If that is not something that you have available, you can also use those two props. So when we lower our knees to one side and the other, we have them propped up on something. So you might need several of them depending on how deep of a twist you'd like today. So as we do, take your time setting up. I'm going to put my hips onto the blanket I've laid across towards the bottom of my mat. If you'd like a pillow under your head or under your shoulders, go for it. Can also feel good to have another blanket kind of laid out underneath your shoulders. And I think I'm going to do that too. So begin to set yourself up on your back. You want your arms extended at your side. And since we'll be lowering our knees, make sure you've got any items gently out of the way. And when you're ready, starting with the knees bent, feet about hips width distance apart, it's going to lower the knees to one side. Again, you want to really be propped up here. So you can shift your hips to the right, lower them to the left, or if you're on the other side starting, that's fine too. It can also feel good to bring a pillow between the knees. You know, a little bit extra support. So wiggle into place. Don't be afraid to make adjustments with the props. And then eventually extending the arms wide, palms up. And gazing over the opposite shoulder from your legs. If your knees are to the left, gaze to the right. Taking a heavy breath in and out. And finding that stillness. All you need to do is breathe and relax. Settling in, letting each exhale relax the body, soften the face, and quiet the mind a little more. Inhale deeply, exhale fully. Notice if there's anywhere else you can release a little more into the twist. What can you soften? Take about 5 more rounds of unhurried breath, preparing the body to gently move out of the posture after your last exhale. And to gently release, bring your gaze back to center. Slide the knees off the props until your feet meet the mats. Gently lift the knees back to center. Bring the arms back to your side. Lengthen the legs on the mats. Lie here for a breath or two, allowing the spine to reset. As you're ready, bringing the props to the other side, scooting your hips to one side and then dropping the knees to the other. Maybe this side needs a little bit. Focusing on comfort and support more than effort or trying to go deeper for the sake of going deep into a posture. We're honoring the body here, giving it nourishment of release, comfort, the permission to be just as it is. Extend the arms wide. Release your gaze opposite of the knees and settle in. Quiet the body, quiet the mind. And just listen to the sound of your breath. As you inhale, notice where your body is still trying to hold on to control. Use the exhale to relax any muscles, any tension, Any pestering thoughts? Notice as the time gently passes, you can allow gravity to gently pull you closer to full giving in to the earth, as if you could gently melt into your mat through the floor, past the foundation, into the ground. Take 5 final rounds of deep inhales, slow exhales, maybe sending the breath out through the mouth. After your final exhale, gently back to center. Run the arms back in. Gently lifting the knees, scooting the hips back to the center of the mat. Lengthening your legs out long. Give yourself a moment here. And begin to point the toes, zipping the legs together. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead and take a stretch, making yourself as long as you can. And then exhale, and gently begin to press yourself up to sit. Any way that feels most easy and gentle to the body. Take a moment when you're back upright. And then we'll begin moving into supported child's pose. Now adjust your space. For child's, we're going to sit back on our heels and find a stack of props right in front of you so that you'll be able to lean over to hug that bolster or stack of blankets and pillows. And you can even, if you prefer wide-legged child's pose, you can take that as well. Just scoot your props in as close to you as you can. And eventually lowering your chest down onto the props. Wrapping your arms around either side. Laying one ear, one side of the face onto the props. Taking a deep breath in and exhale out through open mouth. Begin to soften in. This comforting, releasing posture. Surrendering down. Relax your jaw. Find stillness and ease. Allow yourself to be about halfway through. I'll cue to switch sides of the face. As you relax into your supported child's pose, allow the shoulders to melt down the sides, the props. Feel the tailbone lengthening towards the earth. Feel the belly gently pressing against your props or your thighs on the inhales. And how the exhales gently release you closer to the floor. Breath on the side. And gently lift the head. Lower the opposite. So you're gazing over the other side. Relax back down. Find your stillness. Find your breath. And just be. Deeply breathing in. Softly breathing out. Sensing the air entering the body in and out through the nose. Take about 5 more rounds of breath on this side. Final opportunity to release down. And gently Bringing the face back to center. Pressing the hands into the mat to lift your chest. Sitting back onto your heels for a moment. Full breath in. Open mouth, exhale out. Gently remove the props from in front of you. And find a comfortable seat in the center of the mat. I'm going to close our class with some pranayama breathing exercise before settling into our supported shavasana. So begin to sit up as straight as you can, gently resting your hands on the knees or anywhere that feels comfortable. Begin to notice the breath. And on your next exhale, press out as much air as you can. Every last drop, squeezing the belly. And then as slow as you can, inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we hold for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gently exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Just do your best. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gentle exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the pause for 1, 2, 3, 4. Final round. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gentle exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. Begin to breathe normally. Tuck the chin, drop the gaze down. And on your inhale, slowly lift the head back up and make your way to the most comfortable shavasana you can get yourself into. I recommend folded blankets underneath the knees. Maybe you'd like a little bit of that heart opening again by placing a pillow behind the back. One to support the head. Take your time. Get as cozy as you can. And if you have enough blankets, might feel nice to cover yourself up, especially if you're in a cold room. Wrapping the blanket underneath your feet, creating a little cocoon, settling in for our little mini hibernation. Allow this posture to be a representation, the season, not only the earthly season of winter, but the season of our life. Everything this year has brought or taken away. Now is the time to allow that to let go, to allow the body, the mind, the spirit to process it without the agenda of changing or planning or regretting, accepting the practice we just did on the mat, accepting the practice we just completed in life, allowing the body to rest and restore. And you found yourself as cozy, supported as you can. Come into that stillness. Deepen the breath. Exhale it out. Starting the crown of your head, begin to release and relax every part of you. I'm scrunching the face, softening the eyes closed, allowing the jaw to relax and the tongue to release from the roof of the mouth. Relax the neck, allow the shoulders to melt down the sides of the body, softening to the heart space, releasing the awareness of the breath, and allowing your body to just naturally take over the rhythm of in and out. Feel the arms become heavy, the tailbone and hip points relaxing onto the mat. Relax your thighs and soften your knees. Feel the heels melting into the earth as well as the feet become quiet and warm, quieting the toes, allowing a sense of stillness, peace, fulfillment, joy, warmth, and ease to wash over you. As you feel totally relaxed here, take a conscious breath in and a breath out. Spend as long as you need in your Shavasana. Power of peace is in perfect presence. The power of healing and restoration is in the quietness of the mind and the body. Wish you this peace throughout the holidays and wherever the next year brings us. I look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon on the virtual mat. Till then, take care of yourselves and happy